All right, I want to talk about something that's been in the news a lot lately, and that's the issue of deporting immigration violators who have committed crimes. And I'm going to start by saying I had a meeting today with a businessman who wanted to recruit inmates after their release to work in his business as a way for him to get labor and hopefully decrease recidivism. It's a win-win. But this person's quite a thoughtful person, but there was something he hadn't considered, a little nuance that I want to share with you. And the nuance is this. Imagine you have an immigration violator. And an immigration violator is basically what some people call a illegal immigrant. Other people call them undocumented migrants. But the act of being an immigration violator, immigration violation, is a civil offense. That is, a civil offense is something like parking in a handicapped parking spot or a speeding ticket. Those are civil offenses. Not quite a felony, not a misdemeanor, but being an immigration violator, you've done a civil offense. So, but some of these immigration violators also do misdemeanors, or sometimes they do felonies as well. But the situation though is, imagine this: you got an immigration violator and they commit a crime, and they're awaiting trial for that crime. You might just say right away, let's deport them. It's obvious, and on the face of it, it is. But I would ask you, was justice really served? You say, of course it was. Let's tease this out for a second. If they are an immigration violator and we just deport them, what we've done is we've only addressed the civil offense of the immigration violation. But remember, a lot of these folks have also done misdemeanors or felonies. So if we're just deporting them for the immigration violation, we're not getting a conviction. They're not serving a sentence. Now it's true. We're not spending money on their incarceration. Okay, that's option number one. But option number two is if you have an immigration violator who's also awaiting trial for a misdemeanor or a felony. For example, at my jail, we have 700 inmates, and of the 700 inmates, about 10 of them have an ICE detainer. And one of these folks actually is awaiting trial for a sex offense on a kid. And you might say, oh my God, that's the most obvious person. Deport him immediately. But if you do, was justice served? If the person's awaiting trial and you sent them on their way before you got a conviction, before the person served a sentence, does the family feel any sense of justice? All you did was kick them out of the country. All you did was address their immigration violation, a civil offense. Here's option two. You got the immigration violator. They did a crime. Bring them before a judge. Give them due process. Get a conviction. They serve a sentence, and then you deport them. The family and the victim feel a sense of justice. They served a sentence for the crime they did. If you do the first option, you basically just say, okay, you did a crime, allegedly. We're going to deport you. You're going to go back to your home country. Then they walk free. They never served a sentence, and they're probably just going to come right back here anyway. But if that option two is that you have that immigration violator who also committed a misdemeanor or a felony, and then they are convicted, they serve a sentence, then we deport them. Justice was served. The victim, the victim's family, feel a sense of relief that they've seen justice be served. So this little nuance is something that this businessman I was talking to hadn't considered, and he's quite a thoughtful person. But if he hadn't considered this, a lot of other folks probably haven't considered this. It's actually not the first time I've come across this conversation with somebody. But the issue is, again, two options. Deport, no conviction, no sentence, but you save money. Or you go for the conviction, you get the sentence, you spend some money, and then you deport them. I would say the second option is where justice is really being served. Anyway, this is just something to think about, and what have I usually posted on today's work included. Thought it'd be a little bit different.